You picked up a new case. You picked up a new case. You picked up a new case. You picked up a new case. Tell me there was a no driving affidavit in place. He's charged with failure to stop and give information, and now he's picked up a racing case. Tell me that we had ordered him not to drive.
Yes, Judge, on the previous case, there wasn't a driving affidavit.
You promised me that you weren't going to drive. Mr. Gonzalez, now you've picked up a racing on a highway. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Officers observed two vehicles accelerating at a high rate of speed from 70 miles per hour to 85 miles per hour in an attempt to outgain each other. The officer initiated a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle. When the officer told the defendant that he was being stopped for racing, the defendant responded, "Yes, sir," and the defendant told the officer that he did not have a valid license or registration.
Is there a co-defendant?
There is not any co-defendants charged.
Vic, can I see that, please? I'm printing something out. What is that? What did you promise me you were not going to do? What is that? What did you promise me? Guess what happens now, Mr. Gonzalez. Guess what happens now. Did you say nothing?
I'm not sure.
Guess what happens now. Did you say nothing? Not only am I putting you in jail now, but I'm going to make your bonds high. And now you are looking at a contempt charge of 180 days in jail. And we are going to have a hearing as to whether I'm going to hold you in contempt. So now I'm going to file a third case on you. And you are now looking, if they prove to me that you were driving in this case, you're looking at 180 days in jail, flat, day for day. Do you understand?
So,
Goes with you. I'm sorry, Sonia, but I'm setting the bonds at each at 10,000 and 2 each. Two, 5, 3, 9, 9, 8, 0. He will auto-populate on tomorrow's docket, and then we'll just go through the rigmarole. Or I don't know.
He's gonna be able to pay that. He's a high school senior.
It's a damn shame.
Parents' financial situation is. I'll talk to them and find out.
Talk to the parents, and then, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I need to I need to make sure he understands it and that he gets it. But you swore to me you weren't going to drive, and now you're racing. Unacceptable. You know. I'm going to make it higher. He was wearing an Armani shirt. He's probably wearing a $200 to $300 shirt right now. 15,002 on both. And then we'll see tomorrow. He'll populate tomorrow. We'll talk again tomorrow. Reach out to the family and you know, perhaps they'll come here and they can see how he is, and he can see that we mean business now. You know. Okay. Thank you so much, Sonia.
Judge, you're revoking the
You were Destiny Collins. We issued a warrant for your arrest because you failed to appear for court, ma'am.
The paperwork, I told him the same paperwork, it said I was supposed to appear today. If that's the case, my bail bond company should have told me the same thing, but my court date was for today.
You were ordered to appear 11/22 of 24.
I got out of jail that day. I was released from jail on Wednesday of this week, last week that just passed. So it was no way possible. I could have made it to court that same day. I got released from jail again. And I didn't get released from jail till Wednesday at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then also I have the picture. I didn't bring the physical copy because I forgot it, but the paperwork that they gave me when I was leaving, that said my conditions. I have a picture on my phone with my name on it. It says today at 8:30 in the morning. So I showed up today. If that was the case, I would have showed up when I was supposed to come to court. So I don't get that. And I just sat in jail for a week and a half. I cannot go back.
You issued the warrant on the 22nd, right? This is Miss Collins. She's not on docket today.
What's the case number?
252
Can I show
6615.
you the same picture?
She was on the docket on the 20th. She was supposed to be here on the 20th, correct?
The bond paperwork shows, let's see.
I'm confused. I'm confused.
It's not opening.
Can I grab my phone and show you my
Don't
picture?
talk to the prosecutor, please. You're not allowed to. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because if there's a problem and it's not your fault, I will reinstate your bond.
Judge, so on 11/20, she failed to appear. Defendant not present in holdover is what Jamae wrote on the reset. So she wasn't brought up on the 20th. So she rolled it to the 21st, and then the surety bond was posted. The surety bond says 11/20. So it seems to contradict itself. The 20th.
So whoever wrote the bond did a mistake, because they put
Whoever hand wrote 11/20
back in time as opposed to, so what, you said you have paperwork that says that you're supposed to be here today?
I left the physical paperwork at home, but I had my brother send me a picture because I forgot it. I can show it.
Yeah, sure. And you can give it to Deputy and she'll. You see that it shows today's date?
I like it.
Yes, Judge. November 26th at 8:30
Okay,
a.m.
all right. Yep, you're right. Okay, I'll reinstate your bond. Okay. So it looks like while you were in custody, they appointed you a lawyer. I don't know that Martin even knows. I mean, there's no way he's gonna know.
Especially if she's not on docket today.
Right.
Maybe email.
Oh, I have his number. I'll call him. Let me see. Martin. Hey, how are you? I have a Miss Destiny Collins that's on docket today. I don't, are you in the building? So you were appointed, it looks like, while she was in custody. I don't need, say it again? She was in custody in Fort Bend. Huh, okay. Do you want to stay on the case or do you want me to appoint someone else? Hey, okay, no problem. You just tell me. So that's it? Done. We'll do it. Okay. Okay, fine. Can you pull up her NCIC, please? So we can, I'm gonna take Martin off
Okay.
because he's not working with us. And do you mind appointing someone else for the time being, please? Ms. Collins, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
August 8th, 2024, a deputy was dispatched to a bar and grill in Harris County, Texas regarding an assault. The complainant worked at the bar as a bartender. Defendant came behind the bar and began striking the complainant multiple times with a closed fist to the face and upper extremities, causing pain. Complainant began to fight back to defend herself. During the fight, a crowd of people surrounded her, and some individuals who she did not know began to stomp and kick on her while she was fighting on the ground. Complainant
Stop
stated-
and kick the complaining witness.
That's not true.
Stop, please.
Yes, the complainant stated during the fight, a crowd of people surrounded her and began to stomp and kick her while she was fighting on the ground. She stated that the fight lasted approximately 2 minutes. The complainant and the defendant did not know each other and stated that she did not know the defendant well enough to fight her. The complainant stated the fight ended because someone yelled out, "I'm calling the police."
Okay. Tell me, does she have anything else that's open at the time now?
She's currently on probation out of Galveston County for theft.
Yes.
And I think you had mentioned something about Fort Bend, so we're looking for.
Lord, we're hitting the Tri-County area now?
We're not showing anything out of Fort Bend, Judge, but she is on probation out of Galveston right now.
She may have been in custody in Fort Bend. I don't know. So is there's, run full NCIC, please. Ms. Collins, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public in every single way, shape, form, manner. And if you become a danger to my public, I am first off going to put you in jail. Next off, I'm going to make your bond so high, you're going to flip. Do you understand? Do not go back to this bar or any other bar. I'm prohibiting you from going to any establishment where 51% or more are beer, liquor, any kind of clubs. You're not to go anywhere of this nature. Do you understand? Does she have a felony theft or does she have a misdemeanor theft? And then what else is open? What kind of criminal history are we talking?
Felony theft, Judge. And I believe that's her only history. And Alex is looking into the Fort Bend case as well.
Your Honor, I don't have any record of her case in Fort Bend. Looking at the county clerk website for Fort Bend, I don't see any cases open with her name and date of birth.
So the only other thing you see is it a probation that she's on?
Yes.
For Galveston.
Oof.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Judge, 2 years deferred from Galveston.
How old are you, ma'am?
23.
What do you do for a living?
Right now, I work 2 jobs and I live alone. I live in the Fort Bend County area.
How much money do you make a month, ma'am?
My monthly income, I say my intake probably about 3,800.
I need you to fill out an application because I don't know if you're going to qualify for an appointed lawyer, ma'am. And I'll take a look at the application. The only thing I'm going to tell you is that when you're on felony probation, you're supposed to be extra special good. And when you're not, they usually file motions to revoke. So I would be on the lookout because if you're on probation or parole at this time, it's very possible that they issue a felony warrant in that case with the fact that you picked up this new case. So understand, no alcohol, no drugs. Do you understand? Okay, do you mind giving an application, please? All right, I'm gonna have you fill out the application and then we'll, do not leave until you sign all our bond conditions, ma'am. Okay, are you, Mom? Come on up, Mom. Thank you so much for coming. You were on probation and it's not going well. We're bringing you here now in an effort to reach out to you before we put you in jail because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it's amazing how having you come here actually gets the spark to go, because I see that you've now completed the gun safety class. How many months is he overdue on that?
He's been on probation since February.
He's been on
Yes.
probation since February.
February.
Has he done anything?
No, this is the first thing he's done.
So do you want to go to jail?
Sure.
You're begging for it. What else does he have to do?
Thinking
Victoria?
for a change.
Is that it?
Mhm.
Okay. Which thinking for a change are we doing?
It's a long.
It's the long one?
Mhm.
Okay. I now have to micromanage you because apparently you're unable to get things done on yourself. I'm now sending you for a drug test. I want to know and I want to make sure that you're clean. And I hope above all else that you are clean, because you are not to use any marijuana. You're not to use any alcohol, anything while you're on probation. Do you understand?
Sure.
What's been going on, Mom? Why is he not in compliance? He hasn't done anything since February. We're now in December, near December. You are in complete and utter violation of everything in this probation. And I'm sorry that we have to micromanage, because now it's on you to have to bring him up here, because now I'm not having him report to the region anymore. I can't trust you to do what you said you were going to do when you signed on this probation. Now you will report directly to me. And the next time you fail, guess what's going to happen? Right. Shatori, I'd like to send her for a drug test right now. And then what we're going to do is I'm sending you for 2 weeks. You must be enrolled and have at least one class on the thinking for a change done. If you fail to do it, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. And I'm not promising anything now, but I'm sending you for a drug test and I'm hoping that you are negative. Do you understand? Take a seat for me. I'll plan with you, ma'am, 2 weeks. He's got to be back with proof that he's enrolled in the thinking for a change. He's got at least to have one class done. Is it one time a week or how does it work?
It's one time a week.
And it's like 3-4 months? How long is it?
12 weeks.
It's 12 weeks that you have to go one time a week. If you fail to go, things are just not going to go well. I'm doing this in an effort to try to help you with this, Mr. Henley. Do they have them online, Shatori? Online? Shh,
Yes, I'll give him a list of places he can go right now.
but it can be done online. There's absolutely no excuse.
So
Okay. What about, did you graduate from high school?
that's not yet. It's still my senior year.
You're in your senior year. That is a condition of his probation as well, that you graduate from high school. I'm not letting you go out of this until you graduate from high school. Do you understand?
So
Okay. All right. So let's send him for a drug test now. We'll have him come back and then. Shatori, I got him. Good job being negative. I'm proud of you. Good job. I'm glad. That really makes me happy. You're doing good. I mean, you're not doing good, but I'm happy that you're negative. That's a good start. Stay in school, man. I'm telling you, the more you go in school, the more you will earn in life.
sure.
Ask anybody. That's what it means. You know, your life being a young Black man in society today is hard enough as it is. Don't make it harder by getting either convictions, picking up new cases. I mean, look at what your mom's going through in life now. It's not easy. And when you pick up more criminal cases, all you do, you're not making it hard for you. You're making it hard for her, because she has to take time out, has to come to court, Uber, spend money when she doesn't want to. It could be spent on going out to eat, you know?
Sure.
I understand things are tough. And I'll let you report with Shatoria, you know, Yeah, virtually, okay?
For the year?
Right.
Okay.
If he doesn't start doing it, it's just, I gotta put him in jail. I need you to understand, if you continue to toy with me one more time, I am not, this system here will not fail you. So I will put you in jail for 3 days. I'm gonna let you out and we will continue on probation. And if you mess with me again, next time it's gonna be 6 days in jail. And the next time it's going to be 12. And we're going to continue. And I will let you out until you successfully complete this probation. I will not allow you to fail.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? The minute you finish with this class, I'll take you off. So as soon as you get it done, the day after you get it done, I'll let you off early.
Yes, sir.
But if you toy with me again, get ready to spend the weekend with me. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Don't make life more difficult than it is. Okay? Shatoria, you let me know next time we have a mucka. Okay? Good morning, Miss Lewis. Ma'am, you were wanted out of Missouri for receiving stolen property. Tell me, Ms. Oko, what did you guys want to do?
Well, she would like a bond out on this case. I believe this was in 2022, this was picked up. And according to,
So you said that the case originates from 2022?
yes, Judge. However, she did, it arose out of a traffic ticket. They got pulled over, car was searched and things like that. And so she kept in touch with the courts to see what she could do. And they kept telling her that she had to pay some money. She paid some money and that was it. She didn't know that there was a warrant out for her arrest. She didn't know there was court. She didn't know any of that after that math. And plus she's based in Houston. So I would assume correspondence should have been sent her way. She didn't know until she got picked up as of yesterday. She does live here. She's got her parents here. She's got support. So they're willing to help bail her out and make her go to Missouri so that way she can in person handle it.
I'd be opposed, although the probable cause for the stop was a traffic citation or infraction, is that the receiving stolen property is coupled with an unlawful possession of a firearm and it's a failure to appear. It's not a 2B. So she went in front of a judge, stated that she would return, and then she did not return.
And now it's 2 years later.
The warrant was issued out on December 8th, 2022. So there's been a pending habeas for almost 2 years.
You're a flight risk, you know? You picked up a new case. You picked up a new case.
So,
Tell me there was a no driving affidavit in place. He's charged with failure to stop and give information, and now he's picked up a racing case. Tell me that we had ordered him not to drive.
Yes, Judge, on the previous case, there wasn't a driving affidavit.
You promised me that you weren't going to drive. Mr. Gonzalez, now you've picked up a racing on a highway. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Officers observed two vehicles accelerating at a high rate of speed from 70 miles per hour to 85 miles per hour in an attempt to outgain each other. The officer initiated a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle. When the officer told the defendant that he was being stopped for racing, the defendant responded, "Yes, sir." And the defendant told the officer that he did not have a valid license or registration.
Is there a co-defendant?
There is not any co-defendants charged.
Vic, can I see that, please? I'm printing something out. What is that? What did you promise me you were not going to do? Guess what happens now, Mr. Gonzalez? Guess what happens now? Did you say nothing?
So I'm not sure.
Not only am I putting you in jail now, but I'm going to make your bonds high. And now you are looking at a contempt charge of 180 days in jail. And we are going to have a hearing as to whether I'm going to hold you in contempt. So now I'm going to file a third case on you. And you are now looking, if they prove to me that you're driving in this case, you're looking at 180 days in jail, flat, day for day. Do you understand?
So,
Goes with you. I'm sorry, Sonia, but I'm setting the bonds at each at 10,000 and 2 each. Two, 5, 3, 9, 9, 8, 0. He will auto-populate on tomorrow's docket, and then we'll just go through the rigmarole. Or, I don't know,
He's gonna be able to pay that. He's a high school senior.
it's a damn shame.
Parents' financial situation is also when they find out.
Talk to the parents, and then, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, you know, I need to make sure he understands it and that he gets it, but you swore to me you weren't gonna drive and now you're racing, unacceptable, you know? I'm gonna make it higher. He was wearing an Armani shirt. He was probably wearing a $200 to $300 shirt right now. 15,002 on both.
Okay, Your Honor.
And then we'll see tomorrow. He'll populate tomorrow. We'll talk again tomorrow. Reach out to the family and you know, perhaps they'll come here and they can see how he is and you can see that we mean business now, you know? Okay, thank you so much, Sonia.
Judge, you were voting the new.
You were Destiny Collins. We issued a warrant for your arrest because you failed to appear for court, ma'am.
The paperwork, I told him the same paperwork, it said I was supposed to appear today. If that's the case, my bail bond company should have told me the same thing, but my court date was for today.
You were ordered to appear 11/22 of 24.
Got out of jail that day. I was released from jail on Wednesday of this week, last week that just passed. So it was no way possible. I could have made it to court that same day. I got released from jail that day. And I didn't get released from jail till Wednesday at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then also I have the picture. I didn't bring the physical copy because I forgot it, but the paperwork that they gave me when I was leaving, that said my conditions. I have a picture in my phone with my name on it. It says today at 8:30 in the morning. So I showed up today. If that was the case, I would have showed up when I was supposed to come to court. So I don't get that. And I just sat in jail for a week and a half. I cannot go back.
You issued the warrant on the 22nd, right? This is Miss Collins. She's not on docket today.
What's the case number?
252
Can I show
6615.
you the same picture?
She was on the docket on the 20th. She was supposed to be here on the 20th, correct?
The bond paperwork shows, let's see.
I'm confused. I'm confused.
It's not opening.
Can I grab my phone and show you my
Don't
picture?
talk to the prosecutor, please. You're not allowed to. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Because if there's a problem and it's not your fault, I will reinstate your bond.
Judge, so on 11/20, she failed to appear. Defendant not present in holdover is what Jemay wrote on the reset. So she wasn't brought up on the 20th. So she rolled it to the 21st, and then the surety bond was posted. The surety bond says 11/20. So it seems to contradict itself. The 20th.
So whoever wrote the bond did a mistake because they put
Whoever hand wrote 11/20
back in
on
time
that.
as opposed to, so what, you said you have paperwork that says that you're supposed to be here today?
I left the physical paperwork at home, but I had my brother send me a picture because I forgot it. I can
Okay.
show it.
Yeah, sure. And you can give it to Deputy and she'll. You see that it shows today's date?
Yes, Judge, November 26th at 8:30
Okay,
a.m.
all right. Yep, you're right. Okay, I'll reinstate your bond. Okay. So it looks like while you were in custody, they appointed you a lawyer. I don't know that Martin even knows. I mean, there's no way he's gonna know.
Especially if she's not on docket today.
Right.
Maybe email.
Oh, I have his number. I'll call him. Let me see. Martin. Hey, how are you? I have a Miss Destiny Collins that's on docket today. I don't, are you in the building? So you were appointed, it looks like, while she was in custody. I don't need, say it again? She was in custody in Fort Bend. Huh, okay. Do you want to stay on the case or do you want me to appoint someone else? Hey, okay, no problem. You just tell me. So that's it? Done. We'll do it. Okay, okay, fine. Can you pull up her NCIC, please? So we can, I'm gonna take Martin off
Okay.
because he's not working with us. And do you mind appointing someone else for the time being, please? Ms. Collins, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
August 8th, 2024, a deputy was dispatched to a bar and grill in Harris County, Texas regarding an assault. The complainant worked at the bar as a bartender. Defendant came behind the bar and began striking the complainant multiple times with a closed fist to the face and upper extremities, causing pain. Complainant began to fight back to defend herself. During the fight, a crowd of people surrounded her, and some individuals who she did not know began to stomp and kick on her while she was fighting on the ground. Complainant
Stop
stated-
and kick the complaining witness.
That's not true.
Stop, please.
Yes, the complainant stated during the fight, a crowd of people surrounded her and began to stomp and kick her while she was fighting on the ground. She stated that the fight lasted approximately 2 minutes. The complainant and the defendant did not know each other and stated that she did not know the defendant well enough to fight her. The complainant stated the fight ended because someone yelled out, "I'm calling the police."
Okay. Tell me, does she have anything else that's open at the time now?
She's currently on probation out of Galveston County for theft.
Yes.
And I think you had mentioned something about Fort Bend, so we're looking for.
Lord, we're hitting the Tri-County area now?
We're not showing anything out of Fort Bend, Judge, but she is on probation out of Galveston right now.
She may have been in custody in Fort Bend. I don't know. So is run full NCIC, please. Miss Collins, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public in every single way, shape, form, manner. And if you become a danger to my public, I am first off going to put you in jail. Next off, I'm going to make your bond so high, you're going to flip. Do you understand? Do not go back to this bar or any other bar. I'm prohibiting you from going to any establishment where 51% or more are beer, liquor, any kind of clubs. You're not to go anywhere of this nature. Do you understand? Does she have a felony theft or does she have a misdemeanor theft? And then what else is open? What kind of criminal history are we talking?
Felony theft, Judge. And I believe that's her only history. And Alex is looking into the Fort Bend case as well.
Your Honor, I don't have any record of her case in Fort Bend. Looking at the county clerk website for Fort Bend, I don't see any cases open with her name and date of birth.
So the only other thing you see is it a probation that she's on?
Yes.
For Galveston.
Oof.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Judge, 2-year deferred on Galveston.
How old are you, ma'am?
23.
What do you do for a living?
Right now, I work 2 jobs and I live alone. I live in the Fort Bend County area.
How much money do you make a month, ma'am?
My monthly income, I say my intake probably about 3,800.
I need you to fill out an application because I don't know if you're going to qualify for an appointed lawyer, ma'am. And I'll take a look at the application. The only thing I'm going to tell you is that when you're on felony probation, you're supposed to be extra special good. And when you're not, they usually file motions to revoke. So I would be on the lookout because if you're on probation or parole at this time, it's very possible that they issue a felony warrant in that case with the fact that you picked up this new case. So understand, no alcohol, no drugs. Do you understand? Okay, do you mind giving an application, please? All right, I'm gonna have you fill out the application and then we'll, do not leave until you sign all our bond conditions, ma'am. Okay, are you, Mom? Come on up, Mom. Thank you so much for coming. You were on probation and it's not going well. We're bringing you here now in an effort to reach out to you before we put you in jail because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it's amazing how having you come here actually gets the spark to go because I see that you've now completed the gun safety class. How many months is he overdue on that?
He's been on probation since February.
He's been on
Yes.
probation since February.
February.
Has he done anything?
No, this is the first thing he's done.
So do you want to go to jail? You're begging for it. What else does he have to do?
Looking
Victoria?
for a change.
Is that it?
Mhm.
Okay. Which thinking for a change are we doing?
It's a long.
It's the long one?
Mhm.
Okay. I now have to micromanage you because apparently you're unable to get things done on yourself. I'm now sending you for a drug test. I want to know and I want to make sure that you're clean. And I hope above all else that you are clean because you are not to use any marijuana. You're not to use any alcohol, anything while you're on probation. Do you understand? What's been going on, Mom? Why is he not in compliance? He hasn't done anything since February. We're now in December, near December. You are in complete and utter violation of everything in this probation. And I'm sorry that we have to micromanage because now it's on you to have to bring him up. here because now I'm not having him report to the region anymore. I can't trust you to do what you said you were going to do when you signed on this probation. Now you will report directly to me. And the next time you fail, guess what's going to happen? Right. Shatori, I'd like to send her for a drug test right now. And then what we're going to do is I'm sending you for 2 weeks. You must be enrolled and have at least one class on the Thinking for a Change done. If you fail to do it, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. And I'm not promising anything now, but I'm sending you for a drug test and I'm hoping that you are negative. Do you understand? Take a seat for me. I'll plan with you, ma'am, 2 weeks. He's got to be back with proof that he's enrolled in the Thinking for a Change. He's got at least to have one class done. Is it one time a week or how does it work?
One time a week.
And it's like 3-4 months? How long is it?
12 weeks.
It's 12 weeks that you have to go one time a week. If you fail to go, things are just not going to go well. I'm doing this in an effort to try to help you with this, Mr. Henley. Do they have them online, Shatori? Online? Shh.
Yes, I'll give him a list of places he can go right now.
But it can be done online. There's absolutely no excuse. Okay. What about, did you graduate from high school?
That's not yet. It's still my senior.
You're in your senior year. That is a condition of his probation as well, that you graduate from high school. I'm not letting you go out of this until you graduate from high school. Do you understand?
So,
Okay. All right. So let's send it for a drug test now. We'll have him come back and Shatori, I got it. Good job being negative. I'm proud of you. Good job. I'm glad. That really makes me happy. You're doing good. I mean, you're not doing good, but I'm happy that you're negative. That's a good start. Stay in school, man. I'm telling you, the more you go in school, the more you will earn in life. Ask anybody. That's what it means. You know, your life being a young Black man in society today is hard enough as it is. Don't make it harder by getting either convictions, picking up new cases. I mean, look at what your mom's going through in life now. It's not easy. And when you pick up more criminal cases, all you do, you're not making it hard for you. You're making it hard for her because she has to take time out, has to come to court, Uber, spend money when she doesn't want to. It could be spent on going out to eat, you know? I understand things are tough. And I'll let you report with Shatoria, you know, yeah, virtually, okay? Right.
Okay.
If he doesn't start doing it, it's just, I got to put him in jail. I need you to understand. If you continue to toy with me one more time, this system here will not fail you. So I will put you in jail for 3 days. I'm going to let you out and we will continue on probation. And if you mess with me again, next time it's going to be 6 days in jail. And the next time it's going to be 12. And we're going to continue. And I will let you out until you successfully complete this probation. I will not allow you to fail. Do you understand? The minute you finish with this class, I'll take you off. So as soon as you get it done, the day after you get it done, I'll let you off early. But if you toy with me again, get ready to spend the weekend with me. You understand? Don't make life more difficult than it is. Okay? Shatoria, you let me know next time we have a mucka. Okay? Good morning, Miss Lewis. Ma'am, you were wanted out of Missouri for receiving stolen property. Tell me, Ms. Oko, what did you guys want to do?
Well, she would like a bond out on this case. I believe this was in 2022, this was picked up. And according to.
So you said that the case originates from 2022?
Yes, Judge. However, it arose out of a traffic ticket. They got pulled over, car was searched and things like that. And so she kept in touch with the courts to see what she could do. And they kept telling her that she had to pay some money. She paid some money and that was it. She didn't know that there was a warrant out for her arrest. She didn't know there was court. She didn't know any of that after that math. And plus she's based in Houston. So I would assume correspondence should have been sent her way. She didn't know until she got picked up as of yesterday. She does live here. She's got her parents here. She's got support. So they're willing to help bail her out and make her go to Missouri so that way she can in person handle it.
I'd be opposed, although the probable cause for the stop was a traffic citation or infraction, is that the receiving stolen properties coupled with an unlawful possession of a firearm and it's a failure to appear. It's not a 2B. So she went in front of a judge, stated that she would return, and then she did not return.
And now it's 2 years later.
The warrant was issued out on December 8th, 2022. So there's been a pending habeas for almost 2 years.
You're a flight risk, you know? You've been gone for 2 years, and how do we get her now?
I don't have the offense report. She wasn't charged with anything else here, so my best guess is
Somehow she got just picked up.
right. And so, I mean, I can source the OR, but I don't have it in all my persons.
It was like a star.
It was a random stop, Judge, a traffic stop, I think, broken
No,
flags.
I am always amenable, I shouldn't say always, but I'm very amenable to giving people bonds when, number one, they're not a danger to my public, and number two, I have faith that they're going to go back. Your case is now 2 years old. You've been in flight for 2 years. You've made no attempts to do anything. And the only reason we have you now is because you got arrested. Had you not gotten arrested here, you'd still be in the wind and they would still be looking for you. So I don't have faith that if we give you a bond that you're actually going to go. I know that you're going to tell me it's little gumdrops and rainbows and bunnies jumping in the woods, but at the end of the day, a flight risk is a flight risk. And who you really are is on paper, because everybody tells me and promises me sun, moon, stars, this, that, you know.
I mean,
I don't really have any way to force you to go back, and I just can't take your word for it.
well, Your Honor, she does work, and of course, getting a bond would, the incentive of receiving that bond back is one of the things that I've gotten some of my clients to do, to get there. As soon as they go and take care of their case, they're calling me, asking me, how do I get my money back? It's more of an incentive for them. So at this time, like I said, she does have a base here. They're willing to help her out. They didn't know about this whole issue, and she thought she had taken care of it over the phone. Unfortunately, that's just not how it works, but she understands that now, and she's willing to go back to Missouri as early as next week to take care of this.
But I don't have faith you're going to go, you know? Day?
For what it's worth, if it wasn't a failure to appear, I actually would have agreed to a bond, but the fact that she went in front of a judge and the incentive originally from Missouri was the bond, and so that should have been the
And
original.
when you first came out, I was thinking to myself, you know, guy, it's not the worst in the world. It's not, you know, it's not a capital case, so to speak, but you went in front of a judge, you promised him that you were going to go back. It's now 2 years later, and you haven't.
I didn't go in front of a judge. I had called them and they said I didn't have to. They said all I have to do was pay it. That's why I just paid it.
Post bond, right?
Yeah, I paid everything that they told me I need to pay. I've never been in trouble ever a day in my life. I've been homeschooled my entire life, and this has just come up. So I just called them and I did everything that I had to do. I'll do anything I have to do to get out of this. I just want my life back. I have a business. I have a family. Like, I just want to get back to my family. That's it.
Any other prior criminal history?
No, Your Honor. I mean, if the court wants for a little over a day, if just wants to call Missouri and talk to the prosecutors up there, or if she has a defense attorney up there. I mean, if it's an FTA, then presumably she would have had an attorney after the first setting before it was forfeited. So if you want to roll it over and talk to Missouri, I'm not against it, but I'm still opposed because it's an FTA. So if you want to do that.
Oh, Wednesday.
But what is she, what,
So if
call Missouri for what purpose?
So generally, if the demanding jurisdiction doesn't impose a bond, then generally I don't. So I had that happen last week. No, what day is today?
Yeah, no, it was last week with
It
us.
was last
Yeah.
week. And so there was one I opposed, but the demanding jurisdiction, the prosecutors there said, I'm not opposed to them getting bond. Even though I opposed it, they didn't. So ultimately I folded and I said, okay, I'm fine with the bond. So if Chisholm's able to speak with the prosecutors up there and they're not against it, then I'll
Did
defer.
you say you can't be here tomorrow? Is that what you said?
Not that I can't, if we, it'll be the timing, right? If we can, I'm gonna make some calls right now, see if I can make some calls now and see who I can
For
call.
sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I wouldn't want to
There's no,
roll it
I mean,
over
we're here for
tomorrow.
at least another hour, so there's
Yes.
no,
I'll make some calls now.
see, if they're unopposed, then I'll set a bond.
Because, and I will say, it's because the teletype that we received is, she is eligible for a 2,500 bond there, but they clearly stated that she's not eligible from their jurisdiction for a bond out of state. So they won't allow her to have a bond until she's returned. That's why I said, if the prosecutors are fine with it, they can send me an email, fine. But I'll sit in the pews.
Sounds good. I'll make some calls, Judge.
What you can do. Is there a second case though, too, or no?
No, so the way they did it was, the charge was for both out of the same incident. But for reasons passing understanding, whomever the arresting officer was, they only put one charge. So I had to run the NCIC offer for FBI number to get the second charge. I didn't know until I ran it.
Okay. Is this the only fugitive case we have today?
This is the only remaining one. Everyone else
Got
is
it.
in wait, which we're all. Williams needs to sign the waiver, but once he signs the waiver, there's no issue.
Oh, yeah, so he needs to be admonished, no?
Right, so sorry,
Okay.
Williams.
So he says, I'm gonna make some calls and I'll come back and talk to you, okay? So we're good.
Thanks.
And then Mr. Williams just needs an admonishment.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have Mr. Derek Jack. He is in the holdover. He's set for bail review.
Okay. Let's talk about Mr. Jack. Terroristic threat of a family or a household member. Yeah.
He does have some pending felonies, and I think doesn't have a bond on those, on at least.
So it looks like from September of 23, he picked up his first unlawful possession by a felon. 3 months later, picks up another one. 5 months later, picks up another one. And now he's picked up another one of those and a terroristic threat with us, family or household member. Our bond is set at 10,000. What would you like?
I would ask for 5,000.
We're gonna oppose, Judge. Obviously, this individual should not be he should be out on bond. He just continuously picks up new cases while even being
In
given a
fact,
bond.
I want to
and then-
talk to this gentleman to see if we can reach him. So just if you bear with me, I would like to bring him out and talk to him, huh? Please. Madam Bailiff, do you mind bringing someone out, please? A Derek Jack, please. Thanks. Aaron, talk to me.
Okay. Just approaching, it's on an off docket promotion to sub, Trinidad is conflicted out.
I got you. Happy to have you, man. How are you? Great to see you.
Hey, Judge, you have a good holiday.
Great to see you, Aaron.
If you don't mind, while you're waiting for the inmate, can you confirm with Saba that she received that email and they're prepared to file that dismissal?
Did you guys get Brock's email by chance?
Should come from a lot law on Viegas.
Yes, Judge, I dismissed it.
Okay, it's been dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll sign your nollie now.
Thank you, Your Honor. You guys have a great Thanksgiving.
You too. Take care. Stephen, what's the deal with Miss? Okay, got it. Hugh,
Yes.
hey bud,
Hey, Judge, how are you?
what's new?
Nothing much. I was told to approach on Miguel Mendoza. I think he just took a drug test.
Is Mr. Mendoza here?
He checked in.
Yes.
Miguel Mendoza.
Even the park.
All right, come up, sir. Just take a seat for me in the jury box real quick. And then I have an inmate coming out, Hugh. Let me talk to him real quick and then I'll hit you up next. Okay.
Sure. Sounds good.
Good morning.
How you doing, sir?
How's jail?
Sucks, man.
Great. That's great. Because I got you, I need you to understand that we mean business here. We don't play. And your lawyer I'm bringing you out because it's your case. You need to understand what's going on, number one. Number two, your lawyer has asked for me to reduce your bond. Your bond now is set at $10,000. I have no idea what happened on your case. The only thing I do know is that September of 23, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. December 1st, 23, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. 5/29/24, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. 11/23/24, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon and a terroristic threat of a family or household member. You now, with us, are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The officer was dispatched in response to a family disturbance in Harris County, Texas. The complainant told the officers that her and the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, were having issues regarding child custody, and the defendant was attempting to drop the child off with the complainant, and the complainant refused to take custody because of a previous mutual custody agreement. The complainant told the officers that the defendant then stated, "I just bust your car window, and if you pull up doing anything, I'm gonna shoot your ass in the face." The complainant stated that she was in fear for her life, and the officers detained the defendant and found him to be in possession of a handgun.
All right. Mr. Jack, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. A protective order has been issued in this case. What that means is that if you violate this protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you, violation of a protective order. And I'm going to tell you now, you pick up one of those cases and you violate conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at no bond, zero bond. And I will do it in a heartbeat to protect my county and everyone in it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I find that you are a complete danger to public safety and you refuse to abide by bond conditions. So I don't think that your bond is sufficient. I think that the 10,000 is too low because you are a danger to my public. I'm sorry, Mr. Elick, and regardless, what we do here is just, it's, I guess, peanuts, so to speak, because you're being held at no bond on 2 of your felony cases as is. So what I am going to have you do, though, is this. I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit promising me that you're not going to have any weapons. And if I find that you have a weapon, if somehow you are magically released, because I don't know what's going to happen, if I find that you have a weapon, I will have a contempt hearing. I can have a contempt hearing, and I can and may hold you up to contempt every single time you have a weapon. And if they prove it to me, I can send you to 180 days in jail every single time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is an affidavit. This affidavit, you're going to promise me that you're not going to have any weapons. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if you're going into war. I don't care if there's a big battle in the street. No weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Look how big. Is that big enough for you to read? What does it say?
No weapons.
Good. We will have you swear to us that you're not going to have any weapons, and at that time, we'll just have you put back. If you do bond out, I'm going to put a GPS monitor on you, and I will put an exclusion zone so that you're not to go anywhere near the complaining witness in this case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You know, did we ever explore that order to surrender weapons to the sheriff's office? Did we ever do anything with that?
I explored it and I talked to multiple people and no one's ever heard anything about it that I could find.
We had that, remember?
I know at one point we did.
We need to do something with that.
I'll make a few phone calls. See where.
I'm going to see what I can do about having the weapons surrendered to law enforcement so that you don't have possession of any weapons. Do you understand? Okay. All right, Mr. Lick. So I guess we'll just wait. It looks like the felony case is set for, oh my goodness, March of next year.
Your Honor, we may be, I just want to get the body cam and we may set this for trial. I mean, I know he's got the other
Wonderful.
felonies, but
I'm itching for a trial. You want 30 days, I guess?
that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll have you swear to us no weapons. Mr. Jack, come on. Morning, guys. Okay. You are Mark Williams. Mr. Williams, you are wanted out of the state of Louisiana for possession of MDMA and possession with intent to deliver marijuana. Are you waiving formal extradition, sir? Better. Okay. All right. We wish you the best of luck, Mr. Williams. And you said Mr. Pineda.
Yes, sir.
Morning,
All
Judge.
right. Good morning, Mr. Pineda.
Good morning, sir.
You were charged with theft. You're facing, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail with credit for the 64 days that you've done now. Is this the only thing that's been keeping you in jail?
I'm on parole, sir.
Do you know whether this is going to affect your parole?
Most likely. Yes.
I mean, you're on parole, man. You gotta behave when you're on parole, right?
Yes, sir.
I hope that you recognize, I don't know if they're gonna send you to ISF. They may send you back, they may not. But I will say that if you continue to pick up cases, at some point, they're just gonna send you back and just keep it, you know?
Yes, sir.
Really. All right, so you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys worked out this agreement. You need to understand that this charge is going to go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. The other thing that you need to understand is that this is an enhanceable offense, meaning that if you continue to pick up theft cases, at some point, they can hit you with a felony offense. And if you have another state jail felony, they can use both of those to enhance you to a third degree. And if you have a prior third degree, then they can use that to enhance you to a second degree. And then you have a second degree or a pen trip, then you could be looking at 15 to life. If you've got 2 pen trips, could be you're a true habitual, man. You understand what that means, right?
Yes, sir.
What does it mean?
No more chances.
No, what does it
25 to
mean?
life.
25 to life.
No more chances.
For a potential pack of smokes or something like that. Consider that when you're out there, man. You know?
Yes, sir.
Really. So you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. You can never take it off. I also have here that you have a prior unauthorized use from June 3rd of this year. Is it true or untrue?
True, sir.
Okay, true to the enhancement. All right, sir, how do you plead to the offense of theft? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to it. Best of luck to you, man.
Yes, sir.
Be better. It's not hard. All right, good luck.
All right, gentlemen. Come on this way.
Judge, I also have Shaquita Mitchell on your docket. We were reset today for the state to eval, which they have done. And I have a pretrial contract that was printed today. We just need some time to get community service done.
She has to do this community service?
Service in 2 classes, and I think she's already done 1 class. And
Great.
we're waiting on another one.
Is she here now?
She is here, Judge.
Ms. Mitchell, come up.
Hours of community service?
Bye, John D.
Take care.
So one, I would assume, what are the classes?
Anger management, Judge.
And anger management, okay? Have you done any of the classes now?
I'm back in Beaumont since this case has occurred. My probation sent me back. So they're gonna have me doing thinking of a change and completing my community service and doing inmate tomorrow. So that's the only things I have to do in my probation.
This case, or are you on probation?
She's
I'm on probation.
She's on probation in Jefferson County, Judge, but in addition to that, this case, she's already done an anger management class that she's brought to my office last week. But now the state's offering, in addition to that, effective decision-making 20 hours for it to get dismissed. So I'm not sure if the community service she does while on probation can be used in conjunction with this, but I'm sure we can work something
I'm
out.
okay with that. I
Okay.
mean, have you done the community service yet?
Yes, I have done some of my community service.
Okay, then I guess make sure that Michael is okay.
Sure.
I am, but you gotta understand, if you're on, is it felony or misdemeanor
It's a
probation?
felony probation.
I mean, self-control. I would say 90% of the people that are in jail now are for one reason only, self-control. They react, they act without thinking and say, if I do this, what's gonna happen? If I say this, what's gonna happen? And then you end up back in jail, you pick up a new case now, and you're on felony probation. Jefferson County is a really tough county. They don't toy around like here in Harris County. You violate over there, they're gonna lay you out. You understand that by pleading guilty to this case now, they can revoke that probation, resulting in further confinement.
I'm not pleading guilty. I gave her all the evidence.
That's right, we're not doing a plea.
Right, Judge,
Yeah,
we're not
so,
entering a guilty.
but at some point, you gotta understand, they're not gonna continue to bend over backwards to help you.
That's why.
Right?
Because that was the problem.
Well, self-control. It takes two to tango, right? You get into a pissing match with other people, you get into a fight. Don't matter. Everyone's going down. Just think about that. Self-control. All right. So how long is it going to take you to get all this stuff done?
Right now, they got me looking for a job out there. I have an interview today. So hopefully after Thanksgiving, because everything's gonna be shut down probably tomorrow
Well, I
or.
don't want to, set you up to fail. I mean, your case is old, but we need to give you enough time that you can get it done.
Can we do the first or second week of January?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It is, but I know that with Christmas falling right behind Thanksgiving, if she gets it done before, then I can
My
always.
fear is that we get to Christmas, oh, this, that, then nothing gets done. We're here in January and then nothing's gotten done. I will give it to you, but I'm going to tell you now, if you don't have it done, I will carry you day for day until you have it done. I'm literally will reset you Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday to Thursday to Friday, and then to next Monday until you have it done. Your case is 212 days now. We're giving you another 40 days now. You got to have it done. And if you don't, I'm telling you, I'm going to roll you day for day until you have it done. You understand?
And
It's
she's
not hard.
proactive.
Everything can be done online.
She's pretty proactive. She's come to my office often and brought me evidence and proof of her classes. So she's doing everything she needs to. And
It's a
this is
sweetheart deal.
PTI.
It's a sweetheart deal. Work it. All right. Self-control. All right. Good luck, Ms. Mitchell. All right. Thank you. All right. Good morning, Mr. Houlihan. So you understand that you're entering into a very serious probation. We take it seriously. And if you continue to, if you violate at this point, I mean, we can put you in a rehab facility, right? So just no alcohol from any source. That's all we're asking you to do. Stay out of trouble. If you don't have a license, don't drive. These probations are typically pretty easy. All you have to typically do is 2 classes, stay out of trouble, and don't drink. And as long as you can do that, then you're walking out of here, Yes, sir. What are the conditions that we have, Shatoria?
Thinking for a change,
Okay,
DWI education. 2 victim impact panels. TRAS. Random urine analysis. No refusals.
what that means is that if you are pulled over and an officer asks you to submit a breath sample, you have to do it. If you don't, then you're in violation of this probation.
No drugs or alcohol. And the guardian interlock.
Do you have you've got the scram now?
Yes, sir.
So what we'll do is when you get your, is this license suspended, Alex? Do you know? Can you run it?
I don't have
please?
a vehicle
Yeah,
yet.
I'll run it, Your Honor.
Then you will need to get a portable breath test device. And when you do that,
The scram monitor? Okay,
I'm paying for it now.
Okay.
That thing's around $400 to $500 a month.
okay. I understand.
So as opposed to the handheld device, which is probably about $100 a month. So if you want to keep it, you can, but it's costly. And once you get on probation, I can't pay for it for you. You will be responsible for the fines and fees. You know, I can take off and I can reduce your fines and fees, but there's outside vendor stuff I can't pay for, like your DWI education class, you'll have to pay for that. It's $30, right? The victim impact panels, you will have to pay for that. TRAS, can I waive the fee? I'll waive your TRAS fee, which is around, that's what, $200? Yeah, so I'll waive that fee for you. But remember, this probation is not about the money. It's about you doing what you're saying you're gonna do in the time that they tell you to do it. So there's a certain time for you to finish everything.
You know, it's suspended.
Okay. Your license is not suspended. So one of the other things I want to do.
It is. There's an ALR suspension.
There is a
isn't
suspension.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, sir.
So we will, as part of this probation now, require you to get your Texas driver license. I want you to get it so that at some point you can become a legal driver, but you have to have insurance and you're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have a guardian interlock on it. If you're caught, then that's a violation of your probation. Don't just do stuff. You get permission first.
Yes, sir.
Don't try to do and beg for forgiveness after the fact because it doesn't work here.
Yes, sir.
You understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to test on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept the probation, you're stuck with it until you complete it or it gets violated. Now, the agreement that you're entering into is 180 days jail time to be probated for 18 months. This will now reflect as a conviction on your record. From now on, you'll be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. No proverbial slaps on the wrist. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
So what, does that mean I can go, when do I go take the scram monitor?
First, you get the portable device. When you get that, we will take that ankle monitor off. I want to know that you have something that's testing you before we just take that off. We're not going to take your word for it that you're going to get it, you know?
Yes, sir.
But the minute you get it, let us know and then we'll take that off and then you can keep the other one. If you fail, if you pick up a new case, don't do your stuff, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out in Orange and we're going to talk about if you violated or not. And if they prove it to me, you're looking at 180 days in jail.
Yes, sir.
Understand? You have any questions? How do you plead to the offense? How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? All right. I will find you guilty. I'm not going to suspend your license. So just take care. You have the ability to get it back. What do you do for a living, Mr. Houlihan?
I'm in the process of, I need to take the Texas Health and Life Insurance exam. And then once I pass the exam, I'm going to be working for an insurance company.
How do you support yourself now?
Right now, living at home with my mother.
Good. Stay there. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, I graduated law school. I still went and lived with my folks. Man, I lived with my folks until I was like 35. There's nothing wrong with it. I saved a crap load of money, you know, and, you know, that's what you do, right?
And it's
Until you-
also,
there's nothing wrong with it.
also work from home as well. So
Great. Just take care, you know, work at home, stay at home, make a lot of money, keep a lot of money in the bank, and then you venture out. Don't do things backwards, like have a kid now, because that's, do you have any kids?
38 years without kids.
Well, perhaps one day you'll get blessed, but just do things in the right order, and
Yes, sir.
then things will work out for you. I'm going to waive your supervisory fees, your DPS fines and fees and surcharges. Meaning I'm taking off around $4,000 of fines and fees that you would otherwise be required to pay. And if you don't get a license. But I'm going to tell you now, if you come back here with another DWI, a second DWI, there's a surcharge of $6,000, not to mention court costs. So you roundabout leave here with about $7,000 in fines and fees. So if you want to get lit in the future, just don't get into a car.
I don't have any interest in drinking at all anymore, honestly.
Time heals all wounds, Mr. Houlihan. Say that again.
Talk to them about marijuana too. Because that seems to be the problem.
Marijuana can be a DWI with marijuana as well. It doesn't have to be just, if you take too much NyQuil, what happens? Right. So it doesn't have to be just alcohol. All right. Good luck. Don't smoke weed. Don't smoke weed. Mr. Cope. How are you?
Amazing.
I'm sorry?
Amazing, sir.
I hope. I really hope. You've got a lot of stuff going on. And wow. All resolved.
All resolved.
What happened?
I'm done with it.
Everything got dismissed.
Everything's done.
So no more probation.
No more probation. I'm tired of that.
Did you learn anything? If you learn one thing leaving here today, Mr. Cope, patience. Patience goes so far in life. When you are confronted with someone who's an a-hole, exercise patience. It don't matter. Even if you're right and they're wrong, with your record, if a cop rolls up to you, they will probably hard pressed to take your side because of your record, but if you exercise patience, right? Or walk away, if you see a situation that's getting out of control, it's really going to serve you well. I cannot tell you how lucky you are, really, that you're with this. You were on probation for an aggravated robbery with where was it, the arson?
Arson.
Yeah.
Your Honor, he took a 10-month jail on the MAJ for the arson.
Is that what it is? But he's got sufficient credit that you're probably walking out of here today, right, Mr. Cook? But what I'm saying is patience goes a long way. Even, if you get into a pissing match with an officer, anyone that has a power of arrest, who's going to win? Right. Every single time. I don't care if you're right. I don't care if you're wrong. You're still going to get it. So just patience. Tuck your tail. And, if you ever have an issue, come back to me and I'll help you too. If you ever need help, come back to me here and I'll do what I can to help you out. If you need, shelter. I can't give you money, but
housing.
Whatever. If someone's messing with you in life, come back to me. We can try to work it out somehow. I can give you a lawyer. We can work things out somehow, some way. But patience, man. It really goes a long way.
I'm just serious. As you asked me what I've learned, I've started to let things go more than I did 2 years ago.
It's great.
I've started to just learn to let things go instead of, someone does something that sometimes you just gotta walk away. Like I'm dead serious about that. I'm not joking.
You know what that's called, right? Mature. You're growing up. And part of growing up is the fact that you recognize, hey, shit, if I get into this situation, I'm not going to win. You get into it with them, you're never going to win. It doesn't matter. So just don't. Walk away. Come here. I'll talk with you. We'll hang out, whatever we need to do. The other thing is this, is that if you're ever in a car, you smell like dope, you smell like alcohol, it's not going to go well too. You're pleading now to this DWI. This DWI is going to go on your record. Understand that from evermore, you get pulled over, you smell funky, it's not going to go well. You understand?
Yes.
You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement, Mr. Cope. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, test for any behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country. You're giving up the right to appeal. When you plead guilty, that's it. I want to let you know one more thing. So what did he ultimately plead to?
So he ultimately pled on the MAJ for the arson. He pled to the 10-month state jail sentence.
So you pled to a state jail felony, or does he have a third degree on your record? Because I want you to understand that if you have a third degree on your record and you pick up a serious felony, the next time you could be a potential 15 to life case. So that's why I'm saying if you pick up a serious felony, it could be a minimum of 15 years. All right. How do you plead to the offense of DWI?
I plead guilty to driving while intoxicated.
I'll find you guilty. I'll sentence you to it. What are we doing?
3 days for 121.
So 3 days, 121? 121 days credit, Mr. Cope. I really wish you the best of luck, man. I hope you go out there, start working, killing it, making a ton of money. You know, really, that's what life's about, buying nice things, right? Get out there and make the world a better place, all right?
How come you know where your boat's at today?
No, I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I'm my bad. My
It's
bad.
okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
Hey,
sorry. You know
it's
what?
okay. You know what? I got to change it up, you know?
Okay.
But we're trying to look good for you. All right, my friend.
Thank you,
Take
Your
care.
Honor.
180 days driver license suspension. Yeah, please.
Waive the fee for.
Of course, of course. Mr. D, I need. Good morning, Mr. Hunter. You were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were conducting a trespass investigation at a gas station in a high crime area where narcotics/gang activity frequently occurs. Officers observed the defendant's vehicle parked for approximately 30 minutes in front of a no loitering sign at the gas station. The officers approached the vehicle and observed a strong odor of marijuana. Officers then observed in plain view a handgun between the driver's seat and the center console.
All right, Mr. Hunter, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
No, sir.
You are not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're on probation or parole at this time?
No, sir.
You are now working your fourth case within the last year, your third gun case. Tell me, what do you do with yourself? Do you work?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm a family dollar.
Do you work full time? How much money do you make a month?
$1,600.
I'm glad that you're working. I want you to continue working. Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
You did, great. Okay. Do you want to apply for an appointed lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No more dope. I'm going to test you. And if I find that you continue to smoke dope, it's not going to go well. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
I will test you 40 to 45 days from today. If you test positive, it's not going to go well between us. You stop now. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
There will be consequence because it's the fourth case, and I'm ordering you now not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to test you like crazy. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to put on an application. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Stephen to fill out the application. We'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then we'll have you hang tight.
Would there also be state bond conditions?
No, because I'm going to monitor him and make sure he's not using. So we'll just, everything will be withdrawn.
Next is page 10. Lumber.
Yes, ma'am. Did you say they found weed on him or no?
I don't think it was in. I think it's-
What is your last name, sir?
Mumford.
Page 10.
Thanks. Mr. Mumford, you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 4th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a call at a parking garage in Harris County, Texas. Officers made contact with complaining witness who stated that she and her coworkers, including the defendant, were working inside the parking garage. And the complainant messaged the defendant asking where he was located. And the defendant suddenly arrived at the third level where she was located and began to yell and scream at her. The complainant stated he threatened to beat her ass.
Were they together at the same place?
They were on the same, so they both work at the parking garage, I believe, and they were both on the same level. Like it was in person, the threat was made in person.
Did you say she was in fear?
I don't see that in the Dunes, Judge, but let me really quickly the offense report. I don't see that alleged in the OR, Judge.
Mumford.
So the only thing the state would say, Judge, is our position is, I know it doesn't say that complainant said she was in fear for her life, but the charging instrument, it's not one of the elements we have to prove. We just have to prove that the defendant intended to place the complainant in fear of serious.
I don't know. Let's see. A person commits an offense if he threatens to commit any offense involving violence to any person or property with intent to place any person in fear of imminent serious bodily injury.
So, and Judge, just to remedy the issue, we checked the probable cause affidavit on the charging instrument. On the PC affidavit, it does say that she stated she was in fear for her life.
That's the only thing I want to know is she in fear? How do we know?
Yes, Judge.
Because a lot of people make these stupid ass threats all the time and, you know, it's just,
I understand, Judge.
tell me what it says. And does she say that she was in fear?
Let's see, oh, it does say that the defendant came to level 3 where she was located. He began to yell and scream at her, threatened to beat her ass. She stated that this scared her and made her in fear of serious imminent bodily injury.
And where is that?
This is in the charging instrument, the PC paragraph.
That's just the charge but I get it. That's just because they put that in the charge. Nowhere in the OR does it say that she's in fear. Nowhere else does it say she's in fear. That's just because they always put that on every information with regard to this.
I understand, Judge. And
Yeah.
The only position we have is that it's not one of the elements the state has to prove.
I don't agree. I'm gonna find no probable cause in your case. The only thing I'm gonna tell you is be careful, really. Words
Yes, sir.
have meaning. Words can hurt, right? Pen is mightier than the sword. Words can hurt. So be careful, all right? Okay, take a seat, please.
All right, Judge, we have one Spanish arraignment, page 11, Perez, come on up.
You are Namus Perez Cajax?
Yes.
Sir, you are charged with failure to stop and give information, leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were dispatched to a minor crash. Upon arrival, officers observed damaged vehicle that was no longer drivable. Complaining witness advised that a black vehicle disregarded the stop sign. Complaining witness advised the vehicle stopped briefly before driving away. A witness saw the crash and took a picture of the license plate. Officers ran the plate and found the defendant was the registered owner. Officers made contact with the defendant, and defendant agreed to meet officers at scene of crash. Defendant admitted to being involved in the accident. He advised that he is the owner and the only driver of the vehicle. The defendant advised the officers that he did not see a lot of damage and saw that the complaining witness was uninjured, so he left. Estimate of damage is $1,000.
Mr. Perez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Without permission.
What happens if you go to jail, Mr. Perez?
I don't know.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Está en el país con o sin permiso. Without permission.
I want you to think, what happens if you go to jail?
Bueno, si voy a la cárcel, pues voy a cumplir con lo que diga el juez.
Well, if I go to jail, I'll comply with what judge says.
You're not in this country with permission.
Está en el país.
Immigration sweeps the jail on a daily basis, every 6 to 8 hours. If you go to jail and immigration finds you there, they will put a detainer on you and you will sit in jail until first this case is over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration, or you will sit for another 6 to 9 months waiting for them to do whatever they're going to do. If you don't want that to happen, then do not violate the conditions I put on you now. Number one, do not pick up a new case. Number two, you do not have a Texas driver license, so you are not allowed to drive. I am having you sign a promise with me today. This is an affidavit that you're not going to drive. And I don't care what is going on in your life. I don't care if you need groceries. I don't care if someone has to go to the hospital. I don't care if Bambi gets run over and needs to go to the hospital. You get into a car and drive. You can be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. Do you understand?
Muy bien.
This is an affidavit you're signing, promising me that you're not going to drive. I'll have you first sign this. After that, I'm going to get you to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. We are going to get you out of here. You need a lawyer. So we are going to give you time to go hire a lawyer. I'll have you sign the reset. And then after that, you'll be free to go. When you come back, please have a lawyer. Do not pick up any more criminal cases. Do you understand? Okay.
Thank you.
Again and again and again and again, Mr. Woods. Eight 14/23, assault of a family member. 6/9/24, violation of protective order, assault bodily injury. Another assault bodily injury. February of 24, assault of a pregnant person for which you're on deferred now. And now you've picked up another. You now stand charged with criminal mischief. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases. It's all in a matter of months. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Mr. Woods.
Yes, Judge. The defendant was traveling with the complainant to go see the defendant's child with his child's mother. The defendant continued attempting to be sexual with his child's mother, and the complainant engaged in a verbal altercation with the defendant. Upon arriving home, the defendant exited the vehicle and they drove to a store close to her home. The defendant took the complainant's iPad and walked and followed the complainant to the Kroger. The defendant then jumped on the complainant's hood as she was driving and struck her window multiple times with a rock, causing damage to her vehicle. Estimated damage was $300.
Who is the complaining witness in this case?
The complaining witness in this case is a Jacqueline Perry, who is the same complainant in the assault of a pregnant person.
Tell me he's not supposed to have contact with this complaining witness? Guys,
Morgan.
Mr. Woods is on deferred for assault of a pregnant person.
Yes, Judge, I'm emailing the felony prosecutor right now.
Was he, as a condition of that, not to?
No threatening, harassing, or abusive contact with the complainant in that case.
Mr. Woods, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. If you fail to go take the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm going to make it so high. On one ankle, I'm going to put a GPS monitor because I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person, and you've shown repeatedly that you are incapable of following bond conditions. And I'm going to put a 1,000-foot radius that you're not to have any contact with this person. You're not to have any weapons. You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm going to test you repeatedly so I know that you're not using, but I'm sending you now for a drug test. Like I said, you failed the test, and if you fail to come back, things will not go well. Do you understand, Mr. Woods? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Take a seat for me. Mr. Burrows, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail. It is probated for 12 months. As part of the probation, you will do a DWI education class, 2 victim impact panels. You must do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill those conditions. No breath test refusal, meaning if you were pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must submit. If you don't, you're in violation of this probation. Guardian interlock, 30 hours of community service, a $100 donation, one time to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, no drugs, no alcohol. Random analysis. Is this how you understand the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Does he have any prior DWIs?
He had one that was dismissed a long time ago, and it was no probable cause based on no alcohol consumption out of Galveston. So
yes,
we tried to get a pizza at the Courtroom, but it's just because of that. He had a theft when he was a kid, like 17 years old. but it was.
Just one.
Yeah, but he was, I know, he he was 17 and he had an employee theft. And then he picked up another theft, but they didn't revoke his probation. It was like $100 from a cash register, but that was a long time ago. He's a volleyball coach. He's a good citizen. He's a good guy. He's turned his life around. His parents are here to support him. He made a mistake this night drinking. He understands that. He's taking responsibility for that. He's doing whatever he can to move forward. And he's in a financial hardship now. That's why we're asking for a reduction in the DPS fine. I've worked with him on payment plans and stuff. I'm going to waive all my fees. So
Are you
he
in
can
this country with
succeed.
or without allowed to drive? Step back and let me know.
The
question is, at what point do you get it,
literally
Mr.
taking
Burrows?
all
You
the-
know, you've already had one DWI
literally
dismissed.
taking
You now
all
have
the money
another
away.
one. While
Money is
you're on
never the
bond,
issue.
you
It's
have
doing
bond
what you're supposed to
violations.
do.
So for you to come
Is-
here and tell me
what
that
is-
you've
what-
changed and that you're a different person and this and that,
We
goes in one ear, goes out the other. I don't believe it. Actions
so
speak louder than words. And you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. You know, and your record, you know, life is hard enough being a young Black man in America today, right? And the more convictions you get, all you're doing is you're making life more difficult. With these theft cases that you get, with these DWI, I mean, it's
literally taking
one of the worst cases that you can possibly pick up, because these theft cases brands you as a thief,
because
and people
I mean,
are
understand it's not with
scared
me, it's
to
whatever it
hire
was.
potential
It-
thieves,
My notes
because
are all gonna be
I'm
wrong.
always going to
Hey,
be thinking,
sorry
well,
to
if I
bother you.
hire
This
him
is
to
Mr.
work for
Kane.
me, I
In
know that he's
my
got
notes
not
here,
only
I
one
have-
prior theft, but two prior thefts. Is he going to steal from me? Same thing now happens with the DWI. You've had one dismissed, now you have another one. What's it going to take for you to get that we mean business, that public safety is our primary concern? And when you don't get it, and when you continue to pick up criminal cases, there are really grave consequences. You need to understand that from now on, after today, you're looking at a minimum of 30 days in jail. No, hold on a second. "90 days in jail at a minimum for any new cases you pick up here in county court. Don't matter how small it is, from now on, you are looking at a minimum of 90 days in jail. Not only that, you pick up another theft, you could be potentially charged with a felony, because they use those as a stepladder to enhance punishment. And when you don't get it, they combine all those to get up to felony. You could be potentially facing that. You pick up another theft case as well. Some point, you got to get it. And I hope this is the same. And usually, in my experience, being here, at times when we go too easy on people, they still don't get it. You're skirting out of here today. You're getting probation. You're getting no jail time. You're not getting your license suspended. Now they want me to waive, Michael wants me to waive the fines and fees. I mean,
I think he has his family.
why would we reward, you know?
I want him to succeed, and that's what I think the problem is, that if he doesn't have the money to succeed, it's going to be very hard. He's going to try everything in his power to succeed financially. I just think that's going to be a burden on him. I took it upon myself to forego my fees, and I'm doing whatever I can to help him.
And that's great.
Yeah, I understand that.
Michael,
I just don't think he can't afford it. He physically can't afford it. We're putting the burden on his parents who are here to support him. They're in the back. They're here. He's going to be staying with them to reduce his whatever fees he has to try to, get back on his feet. But he's trying, Judge. He is. He's been in constant contact with me. We talk every other day. He's literally trying. He really is. And I think if you give him a shot here, he's going to do whatever he can to prove you
I
wrong.
want you, I don't have to accept this agreement. I could say, no, I don't want this. Well, I'm jail time. I will accept your agreement, Mr. Burrows, but I want you to understand that if you come back here and try to tell me that you test positive again because of makeup, that kind of excuse is such that every single person who puts makeup on gets intoxicated. Really? So if you come up here while you're on this probation and you test positive for alcohol, it tells me that you have a problem. And I'm giving you fair warning now that you will go into a rehab facility. I can amend the conditions to put you in a lockdown rehab facility for at a minimum 9 months to 10 months if you respond well to treatment. I will accept it, but I'm telling you now, if you test positive for whatever it may be, get ready. And I hope that I mean, and I want to read a repeat offender to the BI education class. I don't want just a garden variety. Your record speaks and tells everyone in the whole world about you. So if you ever get pulled over again, you need to understand that you will probably get harassed. So if I were you, I wouldn't ever, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, a glass of wine, I wouldn't get into a car because you're begging for trouble. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, this will go on your record, Mr. Burrows. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. From now on, like I said, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You must do your classes on time. You pick up a new case, you test positive for alcohol, you know what's going to happen. I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out. And we're going to talk about if you violated, if you did, how, and what the appropriate remedy will be. And it could be 180 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Yes, sir.
You need to understand that one of the things that they're ordering you to do is a TRAS. This is an evaluation. They may assess intensive outpatient treatment. Who's done the TRAS?
They recommended IOP SOP.
Okay, I think that's a good thing, right?
May I say a word, please?
Sure thing.
Once again, I do appreciate, the second chance. When I went to jail for a year when I was 17, and that's when I was in high school. It's been 18 years ago. I've been a completely different person. I coach volleyball, I do a lot. I do give back a lot, and I do understand that this record will carry on without my life. I've already realized that, and I've been doing things a lot different. I did make a mistake. I did end up, drinking and driving. The first case, I do admit. After that, I haven't told you a lie at all. It was more than just makeup. It was paint, body paint, full transformation. I do a lot on Halloween. I did not know that was skin to my ankle, and I haven't lied to you about that. Once again, I do appreciate the second chance. I'm a lot different than what my record says that I am. That happened when I was in high school, 17, 18, I'm 35 now. I haven't been in trouble since. I know you did see DWI on there. I was leaving work, didn't have a sip of alcohol. I asked to do a breathalyzer. They wouldn't let me do a breathalyzer. That was leaving from Kima. They have an ongoing case. I didn't have a sip of alcohol. That's the reason why I got thrown out. I didn't have a sip of alcohol. I asked them to do a breathalyzer. I was being harassed for that whole month.
Talking about the first case in
Sir,
Galveston.
I was being harassed for a whole month. 14 times I got pulled over. The last time before that one, I told them, I said, there's a reason why you're pulling me over. And that's why I told them. The next time I got pulled over on 146. They didn't even give me a chance to even do a breathalyzer. And that's the reason why I got thrown out. It's because I asked to do a breathalyzer, they didn't take my blood, they didn't take anything. They wanted to take me to jail because of some beef that's happening in between the Kima bars and Kima PD. I changed my life a lot. I didn't lie to you last time I was here. I wasn't aware that would set off my scram device. I had super glue that I was putting up, fingernail polish remover. Last time I didn't speak because I was on my anxiety medication, so I didn't really speak, but I could speak a lot better today because I haven't taken it the last 2 days, but that's what ended up happening. Once again, I do appreciate you for giving me a second chance, but just want to let you know I didn't lie to you last time I was here.
If you think that people and officers messed with you last time, what do you think is going to happen now?
I do understand that, sir.
You know, and
I do understand.
the only thing that I'm trying to impart to you is don't give them the ability to do that by smelling like alcohol, smelling like weed. Because when you get into a car, the faintest, funkiest smell of whatever, it's a great excuse for them to take you down.
Yes, sir. This time I did drink. I did not.
Look, you don't have to say anything now, but
yes, sir.
I want you to appreciate the gravity of it, because when officers like me, I don't know you. I have but a mere 10 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 5 minutes to get to know who Sydney Burroughs is.
Yes, sir.
One of the things I use to find out who you are is your record.
I understand.
So when an officer pulls you over, they're going to see DWI, theft. And I don't know if there's other things as well, because I don't get access to everything. But when they see that, they're going to be, holy moly. If they go up to your car, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, if they have a DWI 1, if they have a DWI 2nd, and now they come up to you and they smell something, don't give them ammunition to fire a gun at you. Life is hard enough as it is. Anyways, look, done preaching. So just comply with these things and we will be happy. Michael, and I'm going to tell you now that I will waive your court costs and your supervisory fees. But if you come back with another DWI, I want you to understand that the next time on a second, you're facing around $6,000 at a minimum of supervisory fees, not to mention court costs of another $500-600. So it's on a second DWI, you're facing around $7,000.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Get the message. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
So what do you have now? Do you have the scram?
Yeah, he liked the interlock, what they agreed to.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm okay with that. First, you got to get the interlock. Once you get the interlock, we'll take the scram off. I've been paying for your device now. While you're on probation, I can't pay for it. You're gonna have to pay for that yourself.
Yes, sir, I understand.
But I'm gonna, cut his fines and fees, please. I'm literally taking all the money away. Money is never the issue. It's doing what you're supposed to do in the time you're supposed to do it.
Yes, sir, I understand.
I really wish you the best of luck, Mr. Burroughs. We want the best for you. And we're just trying to make you get a clue. That's all. Just don't be a danger to the public. That's all we want.
Yes, sir, I understand.
All right, man. All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm here on Mr. Burroughs. I hope I say this right. Barrace Kane. 251-5735. Criminal mischief.
Okay.
And I thought we had a deal in place.
So
he
told us last time that he would have the $1,200 ready to go.
They sent him a bill for $4,000.
Okay. Alex, what's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with
The
that?
bill we have is for 3,900, 1,575.
I have here my notes on 10/1, it was $1,200. I guess it changed.
This is for a Mr. Kane. Yes.
Yeah.
The bill we have is stated the amount due is 39,1575. That's the amount due with the
Okay.
bill.
I guess let me speak to the chief and see what, because I mean, understand it's not with me, it's whatever it was. My notes are all, can be wrong. Hey, I'm sorry to bother you.
No, it's okay.
This is Mr. Kane. In my notes here, I have it beginning of October, the restitution was at $1,200, but I'm guessing I'm being told it's more now. I don't know what happened.
The bill is 39. Yeah, and there's
Right.
and there's a receipt too for that.
So Judge, I think initially the confusion with the 1,000 is in the DIMS, the estimation was around $1,000. But when we talked to the complainant, received the invoices and the estimates, it's
to the tune of $3,900.
Okay. That's what it is. I mean, it's right. I can't argue with them. They got a bill. That's what they're saying it is. For you to get this case dismissed, that's what the DAs want. They want to make the other person whole. As if it had never happened, the criminal mischief had never happened. To put them in the same place is, what is it? What happened?
3,915.
Right, I understand, but what was it? Was it a car? Was it a computer? An elephant?
The door, Your Honor.
Wow, that's a hell of a door. Made of gold or what?
Mahogany door. So.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you, but your other option is to go to trial. You know, those are the two options that you can pay that money and they end up dismissing the case. You can accept another plea bargain if they have one.
Your Honor, there's no offers on the case right now besides the restitution.
You can, if you guys, Mr. Goins, want, you can try to get a different plea bargain. The case is 160 days old, so I will only give you a couple more weeks, but at 180 days, we set cases for trial. So at that time, you need to let us know what you want to do. And if you have not reached a plea bargain agreement with the state, we end up setting your case for trial. I don't know. I don't want you to make a decision now. You guys need to go back and talk and just, you guys decide what you would want to do. And you can always request a different plea bargain if you don't like the one that you have, but they don't have to do anything if they don't want to. It's the state and they reserve the right to, even if they don't want to, they don't have to give you a plea bargain. So I guess you guys step back and let me know what you want to do.
They have to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
So, Mr. Goins, before you guys leave today, just
I'll let you know.
Yeah, just give me a heads up what you guys want.
I sure will. Thank you.
This way, sir.
So I am putting some conditions on your bond now, Ms. Solis, okay? The two conditions I'm placing on your bond now is that you're not to have, or not to be in possession of any weapons. And I'm also ordering you not to have any threatening, harassing, or abusive contact with a Mr. Martinez, your brother.
Yes.
Okay? I want you to understand what is threatening or harassing. Doesn't matter what you think is threatening, harassing. I could give a rat's behind what you think is threatening or harassing. It's what he perceives. So if you get into an argument with him and you go, look, is that threatening, harassing? It is. And it can land you back in jail. If you pick up a new case, you violate conditions. No matter how old you are, I don't care. I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to protect every person in my county. I don't care that it's your brother, it's your mother, father, whoever it may be. Do you understand? Ray, did you want to say anything?
No, Judge, we talked about the no threatening or harassing, and I've explained to her that the state is offering restitution. I just need to get the PTI contract and the restitution receipt so we can get all that paid.
You know, the other thing that you have to understand is that at some point you're going to start working, right? When you start building up a criminal record, employers look at this and they see that it's a potential liability because they may now think, wow, she now has this mischief. Even if it gets dismissed, people can still see it. Man, is she a danger? Is she going to explode on us if she loses her temper? That's what people think. You need to consider this. The older you get, your actions have consequences and it can really impact your future. If you want to become a nurse, this may, form a barrier for you. Consider this when you're out there in the free world. Do you have any questions?
I do. For the no weapons, is that like forever? Like for all my life, I can't have any weapons?
While this case is open.
While this case is open.
While this case is open, you're not to have any weapons whatsoever.
Okay.
We've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Vasquez. You can see him on the TV there. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Stay in contact, do what you're supposed to do, and then things will turn out well.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right? We'll have you sign this here now. We'll get you to sign a reset, and then after that, you're on your way. All right? Yes,
Happy
ma'am.
Thanksgiving.
You too.
Judge, we're trying to do a pre-qualifying with you. This is involving Jennifer Gonzalez. Okay. I don't know how to be as succinct, but I'll try to be as succinct as I can. The court may recall that she has a PCS that's arising in the same incident that was over there. James Mount and Melissa over the Rick Court and I, we had a powwow yesterday for about 35, 45 minutes to try to decide what is going to happen here. And I'm trying to short circuit things. At the end of it all, we come out this morning, they're going to dismiss the PCS as long as she pleads here. They're allowing her to plead to a time served over here.
I'm not on the second. Sorry.
If you.
Not on the second.
That's.
No. If wants a PTI or if she wants a probation, okay. I think 30 is what we typically do on a second, but not time served.
Now, the first one was some time ago, Judge, like.
I understand.
Years ago.
I get it, but, and she had violations while she's on, right?
Well, there weren't violations that couldn't be excused or explained because what happens is she takes Adderall. And so that's what I think the issue was.
No, I'm sorry, not on that second. And it's not just you, it's just, I have before, and people have ran, like literally the week after, they wrapped their car around the pole.
So.
And.
If I can, and it may or may not impact your decision, you know, she does not have a license, does not drive. Okay, she has that scooter that she's on that we talked about that's under 8 horsepower, whatever it is.
Is it one of those Costco scooters that you cannot take on the street?
Yes, you can't really get on the street with it, Judge. It's not one of those, and she has a license and has not had one. Okay, now I know there's going to be a position of suspension of any license that she may have. I know that will come out.
She'll have a portable.
The big issue with the probation, because that's one of the things that we first had talked about. She has to take care, and she's the sole provider for an elderly father. She doesn't drive, is unable to drive him back and forth and everything, but he depends like 100% on her. Now, my concern with the probation, and it was the thing that we kind of tossed about yesterday, is if she's forced to be in a position of making a decision of doing something for her dad versus appear for a urine test or appear for an office visit or something like that, she's going to defer and say, I'm going to take care of my dad. My dad's life means more than me reporting.
Probation will never interfere with anything that someone has to do for work, caring for another person. They will always work around. So if she gets called in for a drug test, all she has to do is say, hey, I can't come, you know, I can come tomorrow. They're not going to give you grace of a week, right? But it's got to be something reasonable. The next day, perhaps a couple hours down the road, but they're never going to leave you high and dry to where they're going to do anything like that. I can allow, if she does well, after the first couple months, I can allow virtual reporting as well, so that she can report via Zoom. You know, if she's doing well, she will still have to, you know, I mean, she's going to have a guardian interlock, right? Because that's what we do on all probations, especially on a second. So
but she doesn't have a vehicle, doesn't drive, doesn't have a license.
She'll have a portable.
There's a monitor on her. Can I have her come forward?
Sure.
Come forward, since I was, you know, mind.
I get, she's got a monitor ankle and I'm paying for it now, right?
And it is killing her leg.
We'll take that off. We'll give her a portable device.
That has to be modified because it doesn't look good at all.
Her looks is the least of my concern.
It's painful, Judge, you know what I'm saying? It's painful.
Hello, Judge.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good, sir. Thank you.
What we had discussed, Judge, just so in the interest of full disclosure analysis, we're talking, Marissa had agreed to have a plea to the DWI probation with the terms, including the treatment that's been recommended by the TRAS and all this type of stuff, which we had agreed that would be one of the ways to resolve it. And that would still have them dismiss the PCS. But once we talked about the idea of setting her up for failure, if you would, I wasn't comfortable that she would be able, or this court might even be able to accommodate issues that would arise because she couldn't either get to her meeting or
we can always accommodate. Always. There's never a way that we can't. Never doesn't work in our vocabulary. And the thing that I want you to understand is that I don't, you now, once you plead, if you plead to this, it's going to go on your record. It is now a second offense. And the last thing we want is for you to graduate to felony status to where you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary, right?
Yes, sir.
And I need, and I want to make sure that you understand that there are consequences to behavior. You need to understand that if you ever get in a car, you smell like alcohol, you smell like dope, they're not going to care whether you're spilling, fall down ass drunk, where you've urinated yourself, whether you're vomit. It doesn't take that for them to file a felony charge on you. Even the faintest smell of alcohol, the faintest droopy eyelids, the faintest sway in the wrong way, they're going to charge you with a felony DWI. And now you're looking at up to 10 years in prison. I, at all costs, want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And in my experience, what I've seen when people have too easy, right? It never works out well. And I don't think that a time served on a DWI second is appropriate. I understand that you may take care of other people. I understand that you may have life issues. Actions have consequences. You not only have this DWI second, but you also have a felony possession of a controlled substance. He's worked a tremendous deal where they're going to dismiss the felony case. I'm going to tell you now, anytime you can avoid a felony, you're winning. Anytime, it doesn't matter. Because once you get that felony conviction, I cannot tell you how many doors that closes. And not only just from potential work, but I'm talking issues with the state, being able to get state resources, funding for things like food stamps, perhaps lose the right to vote. Just, it really closes a lot of doors. And I want to make sure that that doesn't happen, you know? So, we usually, now this is a second, you, by law, must do 5 days in jail as a condition to probation, right? I don't know if you guys have worked out an agreement where they're going to waive that and plead it down to a first, thereby waiving the jail time, but there's mandatory 5 days in jail as a result of this. That's what you need to understand, which is the other consequence of this. Now, if they're willing to do that, I'm certainly okay with that, but time served. And the probation, if you do well in the beginning and you show us that we can trust you, we will allow you to do virtual reporting through Zoom. But we have to know that you're going to do well, there are not going to be any issues, and most importantly, you're not going to use. Absolutely. Because that's what matters.
Yes, sir.
All we're trying to do here is make sure that you don't take a life on the road, so that you have enough of a crappy experience here that 15 years down the road, when you're placed in a position where you're intoxicated out there, man, should I get this car? I had such a miserable time in court with that Judge Fleischer. God, I never want that experience again. That's the idea.
Yes,
because
sir.
I want you to remember me 20 years from now when you're in a position of vulnerability where you make the right decision.
Yes,
and
sir.
hopefully, with the probation, we get you understand.
Absolutely, sir. I agree. It's fine.
Now, you have a probation officer, right? Your probation officer is always willing to work with you. If they call you in for a drug test and you're in some kind of situation where you can't, you let them know. We will give you the line to Shatori here. She's absolutely an angel, is always willing to help you out. We can give you direct access to her. So if you have a problem, call us, call me, call her, and we'll work something out. But there's never a way that we can't work something out. There's always a way. There's always a way. Always. Okay?
Give me a minute or two. To
No
talk
rush.
to Judge.
No rush. And I mean, your case, Ms. Knowles, it's only what, like 140 days? Right?
We don't have it on the stage,
Or you don't have?
Well, I think slow conversation, I think we should be able to get this. And I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
That acetone and other things will interfere.
And Judge, but I mean, the scram device itself has an environmental tampering test. Like the scram device itself does a test internally to see if there are environmental factors that are affecting the scram device. If there is an environmental factor that has affected it, as in he's a painter and there's some sort of paint that's got alcohol in it and it detects that, it will notice that it's not from sweat and it will not accept that as a TAC reading. In this case, it's not what it shows. It's a confirmed tamper event for about 12 hours and there is a confirmed TAC reading, but they can't actually confirm it because something was either stuck in the leg or it was removed entirely. So to me, this is a clear tamper and it meets the range for a tamper. It wouldn't even show that it's a tamper if it didn't meet the criteria range that SPRAM identifies.
Ricardo, he's saying it's a 12-hour tamper that could be. So are you telling me that it could not read his leg for 12 hours?
So it was reading, I read at that spike, and they won't state the actual level.
Well, I understand that.
But the duration of the tamper was stated as 12 hours and I believe 6 minutes. So it wasn't able to either get a reading or get an accurate reading during that entire duration.
Did he have something in his leg? Like, I mean, a piece of paper in between his ankle and the device.
I mean, he very well could have, but there's no way to know, of course.
But the time is the biggest concern, Judge. If it's like, oh, it shifted on the leg and it couldn't detect sweat for a little bit, that's not a tamper. This is a 12-hour thing. It's clear that he's doing something to tamper with the device.
Ricardo, what say you?
Judge, I would ask how Michael knows the information that he is stating. How does he know what a tamper is considered? Has he been trained by the Sentinel people? Why is he making these representations as fact? I would ask.
I'll tell you, Ricardo, I've done around 12 11B hearings, all of them successful, where I had Ronald Grant come testify about what the SCRAM results are, how they are, what they do to get the results. So I've done multiple hearings regarding SCRAM devices.
Thank you, Michael. And that's what I'm asking for, Judge. I would ask for a hearing to have somebody come and testify. That's all I'm asking for. Not have Michael testify.
Why isn't he here, Ricardo?
Judge, I got notice of this yesterday when I saw the email in the afternoon. I tried to move this to next week. After I was told it wasn't going to be moved, I made contact with him and let him know what's going on. I don't want to say why he's not there today. I'm in a position where I need to make representations to the court, and so I'll just leave it at I let him know that there's a court setting today. And the issue is notice. I mean, this note. I let him know like at 5 in the afternoon yesterday, Judge. I mean, we got notice of this yesterday and it's expected to show up today during the holidays.
Do you have the person come on Monday to testify? This grant? Do we have to subpoena them, don't we?
Yeah, it'd be Ronald Grant, Judge. He's the one that comes to testify.
Do you mind subpoenaing him? Can you?
To come on Monday, I don't know if he would respond to it, Judge. I have a personal relationship with him. He might, but I mean, it's right after the holidays, so I don't know if he would on such short notice.
Can you reach out to someone to come on Monday so we can figure out, is it a true tamper? What's he doing to the device?
Yes, Judge, let me reach out and see how I go about that.
Well, I will say, Judge, there's no way, like, Ronald won't be able to tell you. What he'll be able to tell you is it meets the criteria in the SCRAM report for what a tamper is. And that's all he's gonna be able to tell you, and you're going to have to decide yourself whether you believe that the defendant tampered with the device or not.
Ricardo, I will give you the benefit of the doubt. He's got to bring his ass here on Monday morning, 8:30 in the morning. And if he fails to appear Monday morning, I will 100% revoke his bond. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Judge, if I may, Judge, my understanding is we could easily do a hair follicle test to see if alcohol is going to pop up. I don't know what kind of services pretrial services provides, but
They don't do hair follicle testing.
well, Judge, the only thing I can say about this, thank you for having a hearing on this. This isn't the first time you've heard of the problems with the scram device, and so all I'm asking for is before you do anything on it is let's have a hearing and let's figure out what happens.
Ricardo, I will tell you, it would probably behoove him to do whatever he can proactively to show, you know, but him coming up here and telling me that he just, you know, I don't know. I get a lot of people that try to sell, you know.
Well, it's two things, Judge. Sometimes it's people that, you know, are drinking, but sometimes it's the device messing up, and I'm just trying to figure it out.
The problem is it's our second DVR. We're on number 2 now, you know.
Right.
So we'll set it for Monday. He has to defend it. He has to be here. I'm setting it for bond closure. If he fails to appear, there's no excuse.
Okay, I'll let him know, Judge. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Judge, real quick.
Sure.
Hey, so are we going to be ready for a hearing on Monday, or it's just he shows up on Monday?
Be ready. No, be ready.
Okay, perfect.
Want a hearing? I'm giving you a hearing on Monday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You asked for it, you're getting it.
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Are you ready? Okay, let's do it.
Delik şu taraftaydı ama top bu tarafa gitti. İlk vuruşuna 10 üzerinden kaç verirsin? İyi değildi. Pekala, işte topun burada. Mavi olduğu için bizim olduğunu biliyoruz ve dümdüz vurursa topu deliğe sokabilir.
Bryson topu suya soktuysa ondan iyiyim demektir.
Bryson, hadi topunu bulalım.
Bryson'ın
Havuza vurabilmesi her zaman iyi bir şey değil. Eline vuruş vermeden önce bakalım Bryson mesafesi yüzünden ceza alacak mı? Tamam, topu alıyoruz ve
Gonzalez, I want you to understand one thing, that it's not you, it's not your lawyer. He's done a great job and has zealously advocated on your behalf. But on a second DWI, you know, we have proverbial slaps on the wrist for DWI first, right? I get it. People make mistakes. It happens. We all make mistakes in life, right? But you can't continue to make the same mistake and expect the same result and reward, right? Because the proverbial slap on the wrist, the so-called time served, right, is exactly what it is. Because you're supposed to do jail time on the DWI, right? And when you're walking out of here, you know, and there's no jail time, it's kind of like a reward, right? But you can't continue to pick up DWIs and expect rewards. We don't work like that. We don't operate like that. And we want you to learn. And believe it or not, I really care for you. And I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do well. But no more proverbial slaps on the wrist. There now is a lot of baggage that you're going to have on your back following today and for the rest of your life. You know, after today, you're going to have these 2 DWIs on your record. Like I've been harping on you over and over. You get into a car, the slightest smell of whatever it is, they're probably going to take you down and charge you with a felony. And if you thought this was expensive, if you thought this was bad, wait till you get upstairs. There are judges up there that just watch out. Now, you guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 180 days in jail to be probated for 16 months. As part of the conditions, you will do thinking for a change. You will do a repeat offender DWI education class. You will do 2 victim impact panels. You will also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need.
She's completed.
Any recommended
Okay, well, okay. I'm surprised that no, no outpatient, no, not necessarily residential, but no outpatient treatment at a minimum. You know, typically in these cases, when we see these, they usually order, you know, intensive outpatient treatment or supportive outpatient treatment, which is kind of like a like AA-ish type issue. So regardless, if that's what they think, then that's what they think. I'm going to follow it. So that's what you must do. No breath test refusal. So if you're pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. If you don't, you're in violation of the probation. 30 hours of community service and a guardian interlock. Do you have children, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think that you probably be better served to do a instead of the dumbass community service, to do like a parenting class, because I think that has more value than just working on the street. Now, like I said, all we want you to do is learn from this, you know, take these classes, take it to heart so that you don't ever come back. If you do well, after some time, I will allow you to report via Zoom, okay? You got to also understand that when you're doing these probations, these probation officers have your life in their hands, right? If you are nice to them, crack a joke with them. If you're their first appointment in the morning, you're probably going to get someone on their good side. If you go in there at 4 p.m, you've got a bunch of excuses, right? They're probably not going to be happy. They're going to be irritated. They're going to want to go home. Don't expect any good thing. In life, that's how it goes. If you're nice, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yes, sir.
Same thing with a probation officer.
Gotcha.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. If you violate this probation, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. We're going to put you in jail, bring you back out, talk about if you violate your probation. If you do, you're looking at 180 days in jail.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Absolutely.
How do you plead to the offense, ma'am? I will find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. Is there an accident in this case, Michael?
No, Judge.
Okay. I have to suspend your license. I'm going to suspend it for a year. Do you have a license now?
No, sir.
Okay. I think that that's probably what we should also do, is try to get her license, you know? Have you ever had a license?
I did have a license. It got suspended with the first BWI. And back then they had a bunch of like extra fees. It was the
Surcharges.
surcharge. Yeah, so I wasn't able to get it back because it was so high. Then they canceled all that out. I had just finished paying off everything to reinstate my license 2 weeks maybe prior to this happening here.
Michael, do you mind running her license?
Yes, Judge.
Did you handle the ALR hearing by chance?
I did not. There was nothing to handle.
On a subsequent, it's usually a 2-year license suspension when it comes with regards to the ALR. So it may very well that you may have a 2-year license suspension.
I do see that she's not eligible, Judge.
ALR,
Yes.
2-year. I mean, it
says-
depends what happened with the first ALR too.
Well, it actually says that she was suspended because due to no insurance. It says surcharge due, no insurance.
You know when that was, sir?
Did you get a ticket for no insurance?
No, sir. I haven't gotten pulled over. This was the first time in many years.
Let's make sure.
I just know that it began September 15th of 2024, the suspension. And the end date, I think this is like in perpetuity until she gets something fixed.
Here, Lonnie, do you mind giving me that piece of paper? This is the driver's license division. The number, will you make sure it's 2600? I don't know if she can read that. I kind of wrote it funky.
It's 2600.
It's 2600. That's the number to the driver's license division for DPS. Call them and then they can tell you what you need to do to get your license. But you need to get your license.
Okay, yes, sir.
Just, you gotta get it.
I'm allowed to go get it if I can.
Yeah, of course. But
Thank you, sir.
before you just go do anything, call them first. And when you call them at 7 a.m. Don't call at 8, don't call at 9, don't call at 1, because you'll never get through. As soon as the phone line's open at 7, that's when you call.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Judge, there was a couple of things they were asking for the guardian interlocks. She does not drive or anything like that. And she has the monitor on that that's uncomfortable. Can we give her the portable device for now?
So, no. I'm going to switch it from the Scram to the portable. So, but first get the portable, then we'll take off the Scram. So we want to make sure that you're not using, and the best way, first get that one. As soon as you do that, we'll take the other one off. But we want to make sure that you have that one on first. So yeah, one of the conditions on this probation is that you maintain a guardian interlock. Now, because you're not driving, understand that you're going to be signing an affidavit today, promising me you're not going to drive. Do not drive. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care what's good. If there's a burning building, it doesn't matter. Just don't drive. Okay.
The other thing, Judge, and this is by way of refreshing the court's recollection, and there's been no alcohol that was found either in the results from the lab, and there's never been any alcohol associated with this particular DWI. This is one that was based upon some drugs, I mean, not even a synergistic type of a matter. It's simply it was drugs. So just so the court will be aware, there was zero alcohol in the system as a result of this.
Okay. Remember, DWI is not just alcohol. If you take too much NyQuil, what happens? Right. Anything where it affects the normal use of your mental and or physical faculties. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's it.
That's it. And just so you know, and I know how serious you take these matters, and I don't want to belabor it, but the idea is that we had already put in place. Do you have Brittany's card with you?
It's in my folder.
So we had already dealt with the writ court people. There's a program director, Brittany, I can't remember her name now. But no, that's okay. We have a card and thing. So treatment was going to already be a part of this agreement, independent of a formal writing. But I think this is the best thing to do in this circumstance.
When's the last time she's been tested? Have you done a test late? Yeah, we need that too. Now, Mr. Knowles, we have one more thing, the surcharge.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna ask that be waived. There's no way that she can afford those things at all. If I need to prove it up, you need to prove up on it. Or
what do you do for a living?
Take care of my father at home.
Do you get paid by the state for doing that?
No, sir, because I live with him. I don't know what that's what they told me.
How do you get money? How do you survive?
I mean, he gives me whatever I can, and he gets money from Social Security retirement.
What does he get?
2,600 a month, something like that.
So you guys share that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Knowles, I'll waive the DPS surcharge.
The last test was on September 19th.
Negative?
I believe what it tested positive for was a prescription that she currently possesses.
Okay, all right. Yeah, just stay clean. That's all we're asking. Okay, all right.
Waiving supervision, please, sir?
Sure. Yeah, it's not about the money. It's never about the money.
I know, sir.
Just doing what you say you're gonna do.
Absolutely.
In the time that you're supposed to do. All right, guys.
Sean.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. Mike, thank you.
You have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you, sir.
And Judge,
the raising end.
Racing.
Good
morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. So you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant, and this is a Class B misdemeanor. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. We're going to do probable cause. Just hang tight, please.
Officers were dispatched to a disturbance between the defendant and an Uber driver in Harris County, Texas. The officer stated that when he arrived, both parties were calm and smoking with one another. Officer stated that he saw that the defendant was intoxicated and asked whether the defendant's wife would come and get him. The defendant said his wife would. And the defendant and the Uber driver began going back and forth with each other about charges. An officer made the decision to detain the defendant and take him to a sobering center. Officer asked defendant to put his hands behind his back, and defendant tensed his arms. Additional officers arrived and detained thief.
Judge, I know it's not, you don't argue.
Tensed his arms?
Judge-
Really?
Judge, I know it's not time to argue probable cause, so I'd like.
No,
to
no, no, no, no.
Push it out a little bit.
I already got it.
Yeah, Judge.
I understand. What kind of, I mean, just you're tensing your arms? That's madness. We have enough cases. Come on. No, I'm gonna find no probable cause. Just remember, when you're out there in the free world, if you're gonna get lit, be very careful. Do you understand, Mr. Thurston?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
No, it's okay, Judge. We're dismissing the case.
Just be careful, you know, really. Okay, all right, we got you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Dupont. I mean, doing the right thing, I got it, that's why.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, always a pleasure, Mr. Hager. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The officer was conducting patrol and observed a vehicle with a temporary tag. The officer ran a search that did not come back with a return. Traffic stop was conducted and the officer made contact with the driver, who said this was their father's car and he got the tag. Officers were able to speak with the defendant, who stated he was a construction worker and he was given the car as payment. The defendant stated he bought the tags off some lady on WhatsApp, and the defendant said the lady advised him it was all legit. The defendant stated he met the lady once to receive the plate, but since then, the plates get mailed every month. The defendant paid her $75 a month and had bought approximately 10 plates from her.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen? Are you in this country with or without permission?
Excuse me?
Are you in this country with or without permission?
I don't have permission.
What happens if you go to jail?
¿Cómo? ¿Qué le pasa si va a la cárcel? I don't know.
Think.
Piense.
No, pues, ¿qué me pasa si voy a la cárcel?
What would happen to me if I go to jail, you said?
Are you in this country with or without permission? Mr. Rodriguez.
Estoy sin permiso ahorita porque estoy queriendo ya arreglar.
I'm
without
want to
permission
get-
right now, but I want to quiero que piense.
No, pues, yo sé que no está bien que esté sin permiso.
I don't think it's okay that I'm without permission.
Immigration sweeps the jail on a daily basis. Every couple hours, immigration goes through to see who is in custody without permission in this country. And if they find you, they will put a detainer on you and you will sit in jail until the case is over with and then shipped off to immigration, where you will sit for another 6 to 9 months waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do. If you do not want that to happen, do not violate the conditions that I set forth. Do not pick up any new cases. If I find that you do, then I'm going to put you in jail. And if you're unlucky enough, you will be there for an extremely long time. You understand?
Okay, sí.
Okay, yes.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
De conducir de Texas?
Tengo, pero está expirado.
I do, but it's expired.
So you don't have a Texas driver
No tiene
license.
licencia de conducir de Texas.
You are not allowed to
No es
drive.
de manejar.
Can you run his license, please?
There's no license on file in our system.
You are not allowed to drive, Mr. Rodriguez. And I'm telling you now, I don't care what is going on in your life. Until you have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you're not allowed to drive. And if I find that you do, you can be facing a lot of time in jail. You will be signing a promise with me. This is an affidavit that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. There's nothing you can do or say that can justify getting into a car. I don't care if someone has to go to the hospital. If you don't have a license and liability insurance, no driving. And if I find that you do, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Day after day, I see people who get immigration holds in custody because they don't heed this warning. You will not get another warning from us. I'm gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. I'll get you to Victoria to sign a reset. You need a lawyer to represent you in this, and so we were going to give you time to go hire a lawyer. After that, you'll be free to go. Take care, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Is that the last?